Hello and welcome to another edition of the Ask Dr. Pickel show, where we help find answers for people who have chronic conditions, chronic health problems. All right, well, I wanted to start off today with a very interesting topic. I want to go straight to the whiteboard here in a second. What we're going to talk about is how environmental toxins, things in your environment that you're probably exposed to on a regular, almost daily basis, can affect your blood sugar, especially if you already have a blood sugar problem. If you already have diabetes, prediabetes, hypoglycemia, these can be even more of a factor for you. So you should really listen in regarding this information. All right, so let's go into this. Okay, so here's the thing. Again, we see at the top, environmental triggers, diabetes / insulin, because the main issue here is insulin signaling. If you have diabetes, you have insulin resistance. If you have hypoglycemia, you probably have insulin resistance. This means that insulin cannot signal your cells properly to get blood sugar in the door. So all that extra blood sugar can start floating around and going into storage, or of course, if your cells don't get fed, your energy levels drop, all kinds of symptoms. So we won't get into all the symptoms of diabetes. You can see some of our past videos and information regarding this, but this is more how these bad guys can definitely affect you. So basically up at the top here, let's start off with foods. So the thing is with foods, we have to have foods. We eat foods every day. And here's the problem is these foods have been processed. These foods have been taken through from the seed up, or from the birth of that animal up. These things are exposed to these chemicals, glyphosates. Glyphosates are in your herbicides, your pesticides, especially these herbicides that are sprayed. And so what happens is we eat veggies, fruits that are covered with these things. We eat meat from animals who have eaten the grass or whatever, the things that are sprayed with these things. So again, this stuff can get in our system, and it again can affect, and if you see in the middle of the screen there, this insulin signaling, disrupt that insulin signaling. So it's already starting off with just the foods we eat. And that's why it's important to look more towards these, hopefully organically grown foods. It's just really tough. I mean, they could spray this stuff a mile away. It could blow in the wind and get into the, areas of where you're trying to grow organic stuff. So it's very tough to do and tough to avoid. The next one on the list, if we go kind of clockwise here, is the water from PVC pipes. Oops, something happened there. And again, if your house is plumbed with these PVC pipes, you now have a chemical coming into your system called isocyanates. Think of that word in the middle of it, cyan, C-Y-A-N. That's from cyanide, cyanate. Not a good thing there. And again, it's more an accumulation over time of these things. And let's even look at this in more perspective too. This is all based on your body's ability to detoxify. If you're a good detoxifier, this may not be as much of an issue for you. But if you're not a good detoxifier, if you have chronic health issues, if you have autoimmune conditions, then these may be more of an issue for you. All right, what's the next one? Non-stick pans. So, the thing is a lot of these things, they bring convenience to our life. Technology has brought convenience, and which is nice, but with that comes increased risk. So whenever you heat those non-stick pans up, these polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons can get into your food. Not good. Also, they can get into the air and you can breathe them in while cooking. So this, of course, can be a problem. And again, it's an accumulation over time. Dry cleaning. So when you get your clothes dry cleaned, then you wear them on your skin, that rubs off onto your skin. Tetrachloroethylene. Now, here's the problem with that. Look at that CHLORO, that chloro, that's chlorine. Chlorine is extremely toxic, um, especially to what area? The thyroid gland. So, um, and definitely a problem there. All right, and then fire retardants. This is a next issue. Now, fire retardants, like, wait a second, where do we get fire retardants? So fire retardants are in your mattress. Fire retardants are in all your furniture. All these things that they manufacture now are sprayed with fire retardants because they don't want them burning. So, and that contains tetrabromo bisphenol A, which two bad things there: bisphenol A and bromo, which is bromine, kind of like chlorine, has many bad effects on the body, especially on the thyroid gland. So these fire retardants. Then here's the next one, cosmetics, which I mean, mainly women are using every day. Now, cosmetics doesn't just have to be makeup, though. This could be lotions and all kinds of things. So again, when you look at that bottle, that label on the back, if it says parabens, yeah, this can be a problem, especially using them day after day over time. Again, really, what does this affect most? I know I threw in the thyroid thing there, but it's disrupting insulin signaling. It's disrupting the way your cells are able to utilize insulin, and possibly disrupting the way your pancreas gets signaled when to increase or decrease insulin production. So very important here. Then we get to pesticide and fungicides. So pesticides, yeah, we think of those and then we kill bugs. What's a fungicide? Fungicide is when you're trying to get rid of funguses and molds. What do these contain? Arsenic. Arsenic is poison. Very deadly poison. Not good at all. Pesticides are used on so many things now, and sprayed on people's lawns, and just on foods. And then fungicides, especially on foods. When you talk about somebody asked me the other day, how does rice have arsenic in it? Because that's, if you start to look up what can be a problem with rice, it's the arsenic levels. Fungicides, because they grow rice in these. Actually, I didn't even realize this till I was researching a little more, that Arkansas is the main area where rice is grown, in rice fields. But again, it's grown in a wet environment. This causes funguses to affect the rice, and so they don't want that. So what do they use? These fungicides. And these fungicides contain arsenic that gets down into the soil, and it just keeps the process going and going. All right. Shower curtains, something nobody ever really talks about or realizes is, if you have a shower curtain and you're taking a hot shower, that heats that plastic up and it releases formaldehyde. Not good. Cigarette smoke. So being around smokers, firsthand smoke, if you're a smoker, secondhand smoke, you live with a smoker. Third-hand smoke now is, let's say you're like washing the clothes of a smoker. The thing is cigarette smoke contains a lot more than one toxin, but here's a big one that disrupts insulin: benzene, and be pretty toxic for the human body anyway. Carpet glue. So, let's say you just got new carpeting put in your house. A lot of times, to get it to stick down on the floor, they use this carpet glue. And again, that contains what are called phytates. Again, not good for insulin signaling. Air pollution. Can't really avoid that always, but just pollution in the air has PCBs in it, polychlorinated bisphenols. And again, not good for insulin signaling. And then we go to plastics. Plastics are pervasive in our world. Plastics, here's the problem with plastics, is when you heat them up especially. So if you are heating up something in plastic, let's say in the microwave, bisphenol A is going to get into your food. Let's say you go get a bottle of water in a plastic bottle at the grocery store. Well, before that bottle of water made it to the grocery store, it sat in a warehouse that was probably got up to 100 degrees in the summer, or even a little less than that. And the plastic heated up, leached the bisphenol A into your water. Now you're drinking bisphenol A. So again, there's no way to eliminate all these toxins from your environment, and which is, I mean, you can try to decrease the amounts. Absolutely, that's important. But the bigger thing is to get your health, get your body working properly, get your detoxification systems working properly, so your body can more readily dump this, evacuate it out of your system, because it has to go through certain pathways of your detoxification systems to evacuate. And if those aren't working right, which again usually comes in when you have a chronic health issue, an autoimmune condition, if you have diabetes, pre-diabetes, hypoglycemia, you're probably not the best detoxifier either. So again, getting your health working properly, very, very important, or otherwise these accumulations of these chemicals, extremely toxic, and especially as it applies to your ability to utilize insulin, which affects your ability to maintain proper blood sugar. And blood sugar is fuel. You got to have fuel to live. It's like you can't drive the car on an empty tank, or you're going to have problems. All right. Well, I hope everybody enjoyed today's episode, and please share this information. Share it on our pages there, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, all these different things, because more people need to know about this information, and I think it can only help them. All right. Well, have a wonderful day, and God bless.